All right, we're back. We're gonna talk some more football, and today we're doing top 10 quarterbacks. That's it. We're just doing top 10 quarterbacks.
Tyler's trying to put me through the ringer. He put me on the spot. We just finished doing our uh, our awards, and then he's like, "No, let's roll right into this." So typically, I like a little bit more time to prepare, but we're gonna
Yeah,
go
this
after it.
was this was very on the spot. We just had a name of list of names of QBs in front of us, and we just made it real quick. We didn't look at stats from last year or really do much thinking about it. So it may not be perfect, but I don't think any list really is. This is all our opinions. Yeah, let's get right into it. I'll start off. Number one, I think still the best quarterback in football is Patrick Mahomes. Even if statistically he hasn't been the best the past couple years, I mean he finds a way to win, and I do think that's the most important thing. You can say that is a team thing, which is true, but I do think a big part of it is him also, especially in the playoffs. He can turn it up, and I do think he'll have a bounce back year numbers wise this year. I do have him as my MVP, as you'll see in the video before this, and even if he doesn't win MVP, I do think he'll have a good year.
Yeah, for me, Patrick Mahomes should always be in the conversation as one of the top quarterbacks in the league. He has and does some magical stuff with the football that very few people can or ever have done. So I think that's a great pick. For me, I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson. I just think that his ability, the quarterback position, has evolved so much, and his ability to extend plays, run with design plays, and then progressively over the years, just getting better as a passer, really puts him by himself because he can just do things that nobody else could. It's like a more refined Michael Vick back in the day, and it's exciting to watch every time you see him drop back.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean you hit it pretty well. He's at my number two. My only gripe with him is he does have some playoff faults. He is choked most years in the playoffs. Even last year, the numbers don't look too bad, but if you watch the game, he had a few costly turnovers and just yeah, he hasn't been able to get over the hump in the playoffs, and a lot of it has his team isn't the best per se, but some of it has definitely been on him. So I take that into account, but I still have him number two. I do think he's the best regular season quarterback. He's the fastest quarterback in the league still. He's dynamic. He has a great arm, high IQ plays. I mean, he really is the full package and probably the perfect current day quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with that. And so what we did was we flopped our ones and twos. And so for me, Mahomes, I'm not going to get on the bandwagon too much. I mean, we've already talked about him. He makes special plays. He can extend plays. He's not as mobile as Lamar, obviously, but he can still get down the field. He still has an ability to be elusive as he's running. And then you always got to be on the lookout, no matter where he's at. The angles that he can throw the ball from at different levels is second to none.
Yeah. Third is where I do have Josh Allen. Again, I mean he's great. He can run the ball. He's a big guy. He'll put his shoulder down. Maybe the best arm in the league. He's accurate. He limited his mistakes last year. So I mean he was great. He did win the MVP. Personally, I think Lamar probably deserved it if you're looking at the numbers. But what he does with the talent around him, which is not much offensively. I mean, James Cook is great, but his receiving core has been less than ideal. And he elevates those guys, and he's special. But I do have him as kind of a firm number three still. I think the playoff success makes Mahomes number one by a little bit, and then I think Lamar is the better quarterback between him and Josh Allen, just in general.
Yeah, I also have Josh Allen at number three. I don't think we have a lot, maybe one or two more that are linked up in the same position. But, anyways, I have Josh there. I think he's proven a lot. I think that sometimes he's even undervalued in the things that he does as a quarterback. And he just came off MVP season, so he's got to be one of the top five quarterbacks just based on that alone. And yeah, I think if he can get a little bit further in the playoffs, um, I think that we'll be talking about him as that 1A. I think very easily he can. Shouldn't say easily. I could see him surpassing where I think Mahomes is and being him and Lamar being talked about in the same breath.
Yeah, I mean, I really do think those three are all very close. They're all MVP level guys. The thing is, one team has really ran the AFC the past, I mean, while. So I do think that I take that into account. Number four, I have Joe Burrow. Um, Again, this number four, like these top four people are pretty clear cut in whatever order you want, but I definitely think it's these four and then everybody else. And in my opinion, there's even a little gap between like Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. He has all the numbers. Part of that is his defense is so bad that they throw so much, but also he's incredibly accurate. He doesn't turn the ball over much. He does have amazing weapons, which makes his life a bit easier, but his O line isn't very good. So, all this kind of evens out. He's a great player. Put up a ton of stats last season. Uh, just a few years ago was in the Super Bowl. I think a lot of that was due to the defense, how the defense played in the playoffs that year. But still, being a Super Bowl level quarterback is pretty difficult. Something not a lot of people can say. And he was a big part of it. It's not like uh, who's the Bucks quarterback in whenever they won the Super Bowl before Brady, like in the early 2000s.
Hang on, with the Bucks won the quarter. Who was the Bucks quarterback the first Super Bowl they won?
Yeah.
It was Brad Johnson.
Yeah, it's not like Brad Johnson. No offense to him, but like he was not the reason the team was there at all. It was definitely the defense. So Burrow has some playoff success in the past. He puts up amazing numbers. I mean, he's super skilled. I do just think it's not fully his fault, obviously. But I do think he deserves some credit for them missing the playoffs. He's begging for his secondary receiver to get paid top 10 money for receivers in the league. You can't do that and also build a great defense whenever you also have Jamar Chase and you're paying Joe Burrow. Like, you can't pay all those players and have a well-rounded team. So I do think that's part of it. But man, he puts up the stats. He's super skilled. Definitely top four.
Well, you did a lot of talking about Joe Burrow.
I did.
I also have him ranked number 4, but I agree with Tyler. I think if you're looking at echelons or tiers, I think that the top 3 are just at a different tier than everybody else. And I wouldn't there's a noticeable difference that not I wouldn't use the word significant, but there's a noticeable difference when you start talking about 4 and down. Now, I was one of those people that believed in Joe Cool. A couple years ago when he was at the Super Bowl, I thought that he was going to be, one of these tier 1 guys. But I think he still has some growing to do, and I think he can do that because he's still a relatively young quarterback. So
yeah. So like you said, there's a jump between the top 3 and Burrow. I think there's another jump here though. Like I think
Burrow's at his own tier.
Yeah, Burrow's in his own tier here.
You can't
so there's
do
like the top 3, then Burrow, then.
No, you need to pick where he needs to be. Is it a top 4 or is he down?
I think he's closer to 3 than 5.
Okay.
So that's my opinion. 5 is where I have Matthew Stafford. He does have some health concerns coming into the season. I don't know, all the details about that, but I'm just assuming health in this. Man, he can still throw that rock. He does have amazing weapons. His O-line is okay. He just makes it work. He puts up the numbers. Sometimes he'll throw some interceptions, but I don't dislike that in a quarterback most of the time. That just means that you believe in your arm, you believe in your passes. It's okay to make a few boneheaded plays, especially in the regular season. Once you get to the playoffs, it's a bit different. He won a Super Bowl a couple years ago. They were the closest team to beating the Eagles in the playoffs this year. I think that's important to say. Yeah, I have him number 5.
Yeah, so I have a lot of love for Tampa Bay, and I think that people don't have a lot of love for that quarterback there, Baker Mayfield. And over the last couple seasons, I think he might have even thrown the most touchdown passes in the league if you combine the last 2 seasons.
I think maybe Jared Goff would be between those two probably.
Yeah. Anyways, he's been throwing the pigskin around, and I think that it's time that we start looking at him. I said this when we started talking about awards the previous video, but it's time that we start looking at him as a number one pick quarterback again, and that top tier starter. He's not a journeyman anymore. All that should be washed away. He's found a home. And I just believe that being in the top three last year in yardage and touchdowns, the only quarterback I believe that was in the top three of both those. And then on top of it, if he can cut out some of those interceptions and pick up a few of the close games, we're talking about him and Joe Burrow and Josh Allen in the same category. If he can just do a few of those things. Now I know all of us not on Baker, but a lot of that is decision making. He's hot when he's hot, and then he can cool down a little bit. But what I will say about Baker is, and this goes true for Josh Allen and a couple other quarterbacks, is inspirational player, getting down the field, not scared to take a hit, give a hit, and get fired up, which is great for team dynamics, and the team really gets inspired behind him. But I do have concerns about his durability because of some of the things that he's willing to do and put his body on the line. Again, if you make it out unscathed and healthy, then it's a great impact for your team because it really fires everybody out. But man, what a devastating thing it can be to your team if you do get injured doing one of those things. And then we're having a different conversation. We're going to say he knows better, right? Versus how inspirational. So that's my concern about Baker.
Yeah, I think that just means you're a real football guy. I think I like that a lot more than I dislike it. Like, sure, it can lead to injuries, but I'd rather have a quarterback that does that than doesn't do it, personally. Number 6 is where I have Justin Herbert. This is a little bit hard. I think he's more talented than Stafford. I mean, he has the arm. Last season, in the regular season, he only threw 3 interceptions, but then in his playoff game, he matched that. He a couple years ago against the Jags, he choked a huge playoff game. He's just a notorious playoff choker, and I do think the playoffs matter. So talent brings him this high, but he chokes in the playoffs, so that does put him down a spot for me. But yeah, great arm, smart player most of the time, and I think he can easily get in the upper echelon for sure. Just play smart. Yeah.
Yeah, I have Herbert here as well, and I agree a lot with what Tyler's saying. You have to be able to play smart, but what I'll say is this: he said, I think you said, I think the playoffs have to count. I think the playoffs are what matter more, right? I think you can be a in-season quarterback, and I kind of feel like this way about Ben Roethlisberger. Like he was good in season, but he found ways to win, especially early in his career in the playoffs, right? And so I feel like that's where the separator is of these different tiers. And when you look at Jackson, Mahomes, I know Allen is still reaching for it, but they're able to step up their game, right? Think about basketball. How
you have that bass backwards, man. Allen steps up his game. Lamar steps down his game in the playoffs.
Okay. Think about basketball. Think about if you're a little bit older like I am. MJ did his thing during the regular season, and he won 6 championships, and he did it for a reason because he's able to elevate his game, whether that was scoring points or whether it was assistant. And anyways, my point is Herbert just needs to find a way to elevate his game as the season goes on.
Yeah. Playoffs do matter to us. My next person is another person that struggled in the playoffs this year, but in the past couple seasons, he's been just absolutely fantastic in the regular season. I've Jared Goff. Rough playoff game against the Commanders, but I mean, he's just been killing it in the season. I mean, I think he'll have just another great year. That's really it. I mean, he can throw the ball good, smart thrower, very, very accurate. He has amazing weapons, so it's I don't know. He was a hard one to rank. I think he could have been all the way down at 10, but I gave him some respect. I put him up here just because of the numbers he puts up in the regular season. Uh, he's been consistently great the past few years. So yeah.
Yeah, I have Matthew Stafford here. He very easily could be one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. My concern with him is the concern that you mentioned, is his health. But when he is healthy, he puts it on a dime. He has great arm strength. His football IQ is there, and so from that perspective, if we decouple the injuries and being a little bit older, um, he's a top tier guy, And but I have him sliding down here a little bit. He's got to prove to me that he can have a healthy season, and if he does, yeah, he's going to be back up there.
Yep. 8 is where I have Baker. He's a great quarterback. I love watching him play. um, I don't even have much to say. He said it all. I mean, Baker will run. He'll put his shoulder down. He'll go to truck someone. He'll try to lead block whenever there's a runner behind him. I love the way he plays. He's a great thrower of the football. Obviously, all of these guys are. I think he's a good leader, just locker room guy, and I think the Bucks can make some noise this year, and he can be a big part of that. I do think that he'll probably be top 5 or so in MVP. So
Oh, nice. You're giving him a little bit of love.
I think that's a lot of love compared to.
My number 8 is Jaden Daniels. I think that he can. He's pretty special. He's special like Lamar, right? Like, I mean, he's fast. He's mobile. He's got arm talent, and I don't have a reason why he's number 8 and not higher, other than he's so new that he's got to prove himself for at least another year or two. Show me he's not going to have a sophomore slump, and he'll continue to climb that list. The sky's the limit for him.
Yeah, I mean, in a couple of years, he can easily be top 4, top 5. But I have him at 9 right now. We've only seen one season of him. I think his rookie season can be a little bit overrated by some people, but I do think he's fantastic. He's super quick. I mean, he's great with his legs. He has the arm strength. He has the accuracy. I mean, he really does have everything. Uh, I don't have anything negative to say about him. Again, we've seen one season of him, so you do have to dock him just a little bit for that because anybody can have one good season.
I mean, but let's be real. It's pretty impressive we're talking about him as a top 10 quarterback after one season.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how much we're really docking. My point is as a rookie last year, I don't know how much we're docking them for their sophomore year, saying you're a top 10. I think that's actually a great compliment.
Yeah. So, I mean, he really is amazing. I don't have anything bad to say about him or really any of the guys on this list. Yeah, I mean, he's great. I think we covered it pretty well. So
yeah. Number 9, we're on number 9, right? Yeah, yep. Number 9 for me is Jared Goff. I don't have a lot of information to spout out at you about Jared Goff other than I don't find him exciting. I don't, I look at him as somebody who quietly does his job, which is not a bad thing, and is somewhat consistent in their performance, especially as of the last couple of years. But I just don't get excited about him like I do some of these other players. And then my number 10 is going to change from what I originally wrote down. But there has to be some kind of excitement when I'm talking about the upper echelon. He sneaks in based on really where his team was last year. If his team didn't do as well as they did, he probably wouldn't be on my top 10.
Yeah, if you blindly look at statistics from the past 3 years, he'd probably be ranked top 3. So no, he puts up the numbers. He does it pretty quietly. I agree. He's not super entertaining. Well, yeah, I mean, I'd agree. He also has a lot of great weapons, but he does his job. He puts up those numbers, so you have to give him respect for that. So I do think he should be in the top 10.
Sure. I mean, the eye test has a lot to do with it, right? Like we're emotional beings. I'm not a statistician who's sitting there just looking at stats and trying to come up with next gen stats and all this stuff. I just the people above him, I feel a lot more confident them trying to win a game, a close game, being inspirational, catapulting their team, making that play when it matters. Yeah.
All right, I cheated. I put two people at 10. I'm sorry. I put Jalen Hurts and C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud had kind of a sophomore slump, so to speak. But some of his weapons were hurt. You know, he still won a playoff game. He's a hard one to rank. So I put him at 10, along with Jalen Hurts. I mean, he just won the Super Bowl. He will never lose you games. I don't think like a lot of people above him will win you games, and I don't think he does that very often. But he will almost never lose you a game. You know, he doesn't make those. He doesn't throw those bonehead interceptions. The tush push is successful partially because of him. I mean, he's a strong guy. Benched like 600 in college or whatever. I mean, something ridiculous.
Are you just throwing out an arbitrary stat, like, or is that like legit?
No, I mean, look it up. We're doing some research real quick.
Well, no, you keep talking.
Yeah, I mean, I will keep talking. I mean, he's not a bad thrower or anything. He's a little bit inconsistent. I think his deep ball was a bit worse than it had been last year, but it's still pretty good. Um, yeah, I mean, he just won the Super Bowl, so I think we had to give him some respect. I know some people will probably have him higher. Some people won't have him top 10. Squat.
You said bench though.
Did I say bench?
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I meant squat. He did not bench 600. Did I really say bench?
I think you did. We can watch it back.
We will watch it back, and he might be right, but I definitely meant squat, guys. He
Squat 600 pounds. That I think is achievable.
he did not bench 600 pounds. Yeah. Okay. But yeah. So I have those two. It was really hard. There were some other people I was thinking of, like a Dak Prescott, a Geno Smith. I really wanted to sneak Kyler up here, but you just can't. He's not that quite that level. But I love Kyler Murray. Eye test.
So I think that Hurts' name needs to be considered for the top 10, but I agree he falls just outside of it for me. I give him a little more credit. I think he can win you some games. I do think that yes, game management is a big key to his success, but I do believe that he also has timely runs, timely pass completions, and so he needs to be in that conversation. But person I have is my number 10 is Aaron Rodgers. I don't know how and I changed this on the fly because I didn't even think about Aaron Rodgers when I was making my list. But to me, I'm sorry, when you were how many time four-time MVP, we forget it wasn't all that long ago when he played a full season that he was an MVP. I just think that yes, he's aging. That's why he's not higher on the list. Yes, he didn't have a very successful campaign last year. And then the year before, he was dealing with injuries, and then right before that, he was MVP caliber. So, all that considered, I think that this might be a year that he comes back and he does some big things, and is able to help the Steelers do things. We got to think about it. I mean, he has like the lowest interception rate all time. Has a bunch of wins. He's seen every defense, and all that has to count for something. And so for me, that I have to put him on a top 10 list. As long as he's playing, I think he deserves to be there because you never know on when he could play like the Aaron Rodgers of Green Bay.
Man, I hope he plays like a top 10 quarterback this year. I think if you're talking about just pure perfect blocking, just throwing the ball, he'd still be top 10 quite easily, maybe even top 5 at just quick passes, accuracy. He's still up there, but I can't put him top 10. I want to. That'd be awesome, but I can't. But
I wanted to, and I did. So.
Yeah. Those are our top 10. I guess I put 11, but yeah.
It was fun doing this. Let us know. We probably should come up with some other stuff, but let us know.
Yeah, let us know if you guys want to see any other football videos. Give us some ideas. Next time we probably won't just if we do another list like this, we'll have a little bit more numbers to talk about. We kind of really winged this real quick, so it wasn't the most
part of the reason we're doing that too is because starting next week, I won't be here. Tyler's in school. Our workout videos are down. So part of it is we're trying to build a little bit more videos in the reservoir, so to speak.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so that's our list, and we'll see you next time.
Till next time.